It's impossible! No one's will is strong enough to escape my dream machine! Why?
Batman the Animated Series is often remembered for its extraordinary villains, its gothic atmosphere, its mature storytelling, and its ability to treat a children's cartoon with the seriousness of a dramatic television series. But few episodes demonstrate the psychological depth of the series better than Perchance to Dream. On the surface, it is a story about Batman becoming trapped inside an artificial dream created by the Mad Hatter. Beneath that premise, however, the episode is an extraordinary examination of Bruce Wayne, Batman, and the uneasy relationship between the two identities, because it asks a question that has followed the character for decades. Who is Bruce Wayne really?
You know what's going on. This is a dream, and you're the one responsible. Now tell me what's going on.
Perchance to Dream also asks what Bruce is willing to sacrifice in order to know the truth. The dream offered to him is not merely pleasant, it is almost impossibly cruel in its perfection. His parents are alive. He has never become Batman. Alfred is still by his side. He has a successful life, a loving relationship with Selina Kyle, and none of the pain and responsibility that have defined his existence. Everything that the young Bruce Wayne could have wanted appears to have been restored to him. Yet he cannot accept it. He would rather lose everything than live inside a lie. That is what makes the episode such a powerful piece of introspection. Bruce is not merely escaping a nightmare. He is being offered his greatest possible fantasy, and he decides to reject it.
No! I won't live a lie, no matter how attractive you make it.
The episode begins by taking away almost everything that defines Batman. Bruce awakens and discovers that his parents are alive. There is no Batcave beneath Wayne Manor. Alfred does not know that Bruce is Batman. Dick Grayson is absent from his life. Selina Kyle is simply Selina, rather than Catwoman, and Bruce is preparing to marry her. And Bruce himself has apparently never become Batman. Instead, Gotham has another Batman, an individual completely separate from Bruce Wayne. Usually Batman and Bruce Wayne are two halves of the same person. Here, Bruce is forced to contemplate the possibility that they are actually separate individuals. And for a brief period, Bruce seems willing to accept that separation. That is important. Bruce does not immediately reject this world simply because Batman is absent. In fact, he begins to relax. He is happier than he has been in years. He has his parents. He has Selina. He has a normal life. The burden of Batman has seemingly disappeared.
What happened to my parents?
A delusion.
Then the nightmare is over. Dad. Selina?
Your mother called, darling, said you could use some cheering up. Who better for the job than the woman you're marrying next week?
Yet something inside him refuses to let the illusion stand. Bruce Wayne's conscious mind appears to want this life desperately, while something deeper within him continues searching for Batman. His investigation into the strange world eventually becomes an investigation into himself. The jumbled words in newspapers and books are the first major clue that reality is wrong. Bruce is unable to read because his mind is trying to tell him that the world around him cannot be trusted. He needs the truth. That need ultimately proves stronger than his desire for happiness, and he discovers that it is not real. That should be enough for Bruce. For almost anyone else, perhaps it would not be. But Bruce Wayne is a man whose entire identity was forged around a moment in which reality became unbearable.
Oh, I was right when I tried to read the newspaper. The print didn't make sense. What? Because reading is a function of the right side of the brain, while dreams come from the left side. It's impossible to read something in a dream.
When his parents were murdered, the world ceased to be the safe and comprehensible place he had known. He responded by dedicating himself to understanding it, confronting it, and preventing others from experiencing the same kind of helplessness. Batman is ultimately an attempt to impose meaning and order upon that original trauma. The dream therefore offers Bruce something almost impossible, a chance to undo the event that created him, and Bruce rejects it. His decision to leap from the bell tower is perhaps the clearest expression of his character in the entire series. The act is not just the choice to end it all within the dream. It is an assertion that reality is more important to him than happiness, and that Bruce would rather confront a painful truth than remain inside a beautiful falsehood at any and all costs.
You're wrong. There is a way out.
This isn't an ordinary dream. What if you're wrong?
Then I'll see you in your nightmares.
The Mad Hatter's offer is therefore much more profound than it initially appears. He tells Bruce, essentially, that he can have everything he wants if he will simply stop being Batman. The villain believes that Batman is the source of Bruce's suffering and that removing him from the equation will make Bruce happy. But the Mad Hatter misunderstands Bruce. Batman is not merely something Bruce does. Batman is an expression of something that exists inside him. Remove Batman, and you have not necessarily freed Bruce Wayne. You may have removed the only thing that gives his life its meaning. This leads directly into one of the episode's most interesting questions. Is Bruce Wayne the real person, or is Batman? There are compelling arguments for both interpretations.
I was willing to give you whatever life you wanted, just to keep you out of mine.
One interpretation is that Bruce Wayne is at the heart of everything. Bruce is the human being beneath the costume, the part of him that loves, feels compassion, forms relationships, and ultimately distinguishes Batman from the monsters he fights. Batman may represent Bruce's rage, discipline, determination, and ability to act, but Bruce Wayne is what prevents those qualities from becoming something monstrous. This interpretation makes Bruce Wayne essential to Batman's humanity. Batman can become obsessive. He can become consumed by his mission. He can become cold, uncompromising, and frighteningly close to the criminals he fights. Bruce Wayne is the part of him that remembers why the mission exists in the first place. Bruce is the human heart that prevents Batman from becoming nothing more than vengeance. Bruce needs Batman because Batman gives him the power to act, but Batman needs Bruce because Bruce gives him a reason not to become a monster.
You certainly seem like your old self again, Bruce. I've never felt better in my life, sir. I'll check with your mother. Why shouldn't I be? My life is a dream, Alfred. The best dream anyone ever had.
Yet this episode also supports the opposite interpretation. Perhaps Bruce Wayne died in Crime Alley. Perhaps the boy who watched his parents die never truly recovered, and Batman was born in that moment. Everything afterward could be interpreted as an extension of the Batman identity. Bruce Wayne could simply be the disguise that allows Batman to move through society. The playboy, the businessman, the billionaire, perhaps all of these are performances designed to make Batman's existence possible. The episode makes this interpretation believable because even when Bruce is supposedly living as Bruce Wayne, his mind keeps returning to Batman. He cannot stop thinking about him. He sees Batman and immediately investigates. He questions Selina about Catwoman. He looks for the Batcave. He tests the world. He investigates. Even when he is given a life completely separate from Batman, Bruce Wayne behaves like Batman. This suggests that Batman may be the identity, while Bruce Wayne is the mask.
I feel as if I'm someone else. It's crazy, but I know I'm...
Batman!
Stop!
Guy moves like Batman.
The world might assume that Batman is the disguise and Bruce Wayne is the real person, but perhaps Bruce Wayne is the disguise that Batman created so that he could continue functioning in the world. The episode never resolves this question because it does not need to. In fact, its refusal to provide an answer is one of its greatest strengths. Bruce and Batman may not be two separate people at all. They may be inseparable aspects of the same individual. Bruce is the heart and Batman is the will. Bruce is the humanity and Batman is the means by which that humanity acts. Bruce provides the moral boundary while Batman provides the strength to enforce it. In this interpretation, asking whether Bruce Wayne or Batman is the real identity misses the point. He is both, and neither.
Who is he?
They call him Batman.
No, I mean, who is he?
No one knows.
It's like I'm living someone else's life. I don't know anything about me anymore.
The dream itself reinforces this ambiguity because it may not even represent the desires of Bruce as a single, unified person. The fantasy is everything Bruce might consciously want. His parents alive, Selina beside him, a peaceful life, no responsibility to patrol Gotham at night. But perhaps another part of Bruce does not want those things anymore, not at the expense of the truth. That distinction is crucial. Maybe this is Bruce Wayne's perfect fantasy. Maybe it is the fantasy of the little boy who wanted his parents back. Maybe it is the fantasy of the adult who is exhausted from carrying the burden of Batman. Maybe it is the fantasy of the part of Bruce that wonders what his life could have been. But it is not the fantasy of the whole person, because another part of him knows that accepting it would mean surrendering something essential.
No, it's impossible. No, it can't be you.
Ah. Are you the dreamer or merely part of someone's dream?
The episode's title, Perchance To Dream, draws attention to this conflict. The phrase comes from Hamlet's famous meditation on death, uncertainty, and the desire to escape suffering. That is an appropriate reference for Bruce Wayne because his entire existence revolves around the question of whether one can escape suffering without losing oneself. Bruce has been given the ultimate escape. He refuses. This is what makes the episode such a profound statement about what drives Batman. Batman is not ultimately driven by a desire for happiness. He is not even primarily driven by revenge. His deeper motivation is the refusal to accept a world in which innocent people are helpless before cruelty and violence. That principle applies even when Bruce himself becomes the innocent person being offered an escape. He cannot accept an illusion simply because it is comforting. He needs to know what is real.
No, it's wrong. It's all wrong. Nothing makes sense. Oh, you're a lie. It's all a lie.
And that is why the final confrontation with the Mad Hatter is so revealing. Tetch genuinely believes he has done Batman a favor. He thinks he has found a way to remove Batman from his life without harming Bruce. In his mind, he has created the perfect solution. Give Batman everything he could ever want so that he will willingly abandon his mission. Instead, he accidentally proves how deeply Batman is embedded within Bruce. The dream cannot contain him. Bruce's need for truth destroys the fantasy. There is also something deeply tragic about Bruce's decision. He does not reject the dream because he hates happiness. He rejects it because he understands that happiness built upon a lie would not truly be his. He could spend the rest of his life with his parents and Selina, but some part of him would always know that something was wrong. He cannot live that way.
Its purpose is to create an ideal world for you. I'm crushed. You don't like the fantasy world I've created for you?
It's not real.
Batman sacrifices safety, relationships, and even the possibility of a normal life for his mission. But here he sacrifices something far greater, the possibility of having his parents back. He willingly returns to the world where Thomas and Martha Wayne are dead. He willingly returns to the world where he is Batman. He willingly returns to the loneliness, danger, responsibility, and pain. And he does so because that world is real. That choice tells us almost everything we need to know about him. Bruce Wayne may desperately want his parents back, but Batman understands that they are gone. Bruce may want happiness, peace, and an ordinary life, but Batman understands that none of those things are worth self-deception. Reality hurts. Bruce chooses it anyway. That is why this is not an episode about whether Batman can escape his trauma. It is about whether he would even want to. The answer is complicated. He does want the things the dream gives him, but he wants the truth more.
Again, the mysterious figure known as Batman has come
Batman!
to the aid of local law enforcement.
Always Batman!
Bruce Wayne is not incapable of imagining a better life. Quite the opposite. He can imagine one perfectly. He simply cannot bring himself to live it, if doing so requires abandoning who he has become. The episode leaves us with no definitive answer about whether Bruce is the man beneath the mask or whether Batman is the man underneath Bruce Wayne. Perhaps the truth is that neither identity exists independently. Batman without Bruce would become an empty instrument of vengeance. Bruce without Batman would be a man living with a wound he cannot ignore. The two identities constantly define and restrain one another. Bruce gives Batman his humanity. Batman gives Bruce his purpose. Bruce remembers what was lost. Batman fights so that others will not lose the same things. Bruce is the man who wants his parents back. Batman is the man who accepts that they are gone and continues forward anyway. That is the tragedy and the strength of the character.
Any idea what it is?
Yes. The stuff that dreams are made of.
Perchance To Dream understands that Batman's greatest enemy is not necessarily a villain. Sometimes it is the possibility of happiness itself, the temptation to stop fighting, the temptation to say that enough is enough, the temptation to live in a world where the wound never happened. And Bruce Wayne looks at that world, sees everything he has ever wanted, and still says no. He chooses reality. He chooses the truth. He chooses the life that hurts. And in doing so, he proves that whatever Bruce Wayne and Batman may be individually, they are bound together by the same principle. He would rather suffer as himself than be happy as someone he is not. That is why this episode remains such a powerful examination of Batman. It does not tell us exactly who Bruce Wayne is. Instead, it gives us a series of contradictions and lets us sit with them. Bruce may be the heart of Batman. Batman may be the heart of Bruce. Bruce may have died in Crime Alley, or perhaps he has been there all along, keeping the darkness from consuming the man beneath the mask. The episode does not answer the question. It simply shows us what that mysterious person at the center of both identities will sacrifice to discover the truth. And perhaps that is the most Batman answer of all.